Welcome to Tempo Storm Overwatch. For those who are not familiar with the Tempo Storm brand, we are an organization featuring some of the best esports athletes and personalities in Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, World of Warcraft, FGC, FIFA, and soon to be Overwatch. We're not quite ready to announce our team yet, but we're getting started on building up our content production team. The first video that we have for you guys for our channel is going to be an overview of the top 5 best heroes for beginners. When you first hop into Overwatch, it might be a little bit overwhelming, even if you've been watching Overwatch streams because of how fast-paced the game is. We're bringing you this list in hopes that we can sort of ease the transition by narrowing down the best heroes to try out first. Now, these heroes were picked and added to this list because they either have traditional playstyles, a higher margin for error, or predictable mechanics. Number 1 is Soldier 76. Soldier plays very similarly to conventional first-person shooter characters, so he's a very good character to use for transitioning players. And if you're not paying attention, you might even think that you're still playing Call of Duty. In overwhelming situations, Soldier 76 can just use his regular gun and shoot away. But that's not the only thing that he has, because he has a very versatile toolkit. He has a sprint, he has an area of effect heal, an alternate fire rocket launcher for extra damage, and the best part about him is that his ultimate removes the need for any aiming, because you just turn it on and lock it onto a target for automatic damage and guaranteed hits. So because of all these tools that you have to survive and all this utility that you're provided with, you're going to feel like a cockroach surviving nuclear bombs, and you're just going to be just as annoying to your enemies because it's going to be very difficult to get rid of you. Number 2 is Mercy. So contrary to what you would expect on a top 5 list for beginners, Mercy is actually a little bit challenging when it comes to mechanics. But she was included in this list anyway because of the way that she sits back in her back line, and she helps her allies through relatively passive gameplay. The toughest thing about Mercy is knowing when to use the 2 different beams on her standard gun, one that heals and one that buffs ally damage. But luckily, once you make the decision, it's very easy to aim because it just locks onto your ally. She has a movement ability to help her reposition in case she's out of position, and her ultimate will resurrect a fallen ally to avoid any catastrophic disasters from happening as a result of being one man down. Number 3 is Bastion. Bastion is a hero that is very good for new players, and he's even better against new players. That's because Bastion can set up as a stationary turret behind a really strong shield and switches attack to a Gatling gun that completely shreds anyone who gets in his path of fire. If the enemy doesn't hard engage to get in close for the kill, they're going to end up dead. Apart from that, his regular rifle is going to feel familiar to first-person shooter veterans. It deals a good amount of damage, and you'll deal even more damage in turret mode. So you'll basically be able to pick up some pretty easy kills. And to top that all off, he even has a self-heal to help mitigate some of the punishment you might take from making mistakes. Number 4 is Reaper. Reaper has 2 shotguns. Well, I guess it would technically be 2 shotguns. With damage spread that's pretty forgiving for beginners who don't really have great aim yet. So as long as you're up close and you keep shooting, you're eventually going to get a kill. He also has some pretty good mobility, seeing as he has 2 abilities dedicated to mobility. The first is an escape that makes him invulnerable for a short time, and the second is an ability that allows him to teleport to a ground-targeted location. And obviously both of them can be used defensively as well as offensively. With all that being said, the best part about Reaper is actually his ultimate, Death Blossom. You can literally press the button and close your eyes because it deals damage to everybody around him, and the only thing that you need to master is knowing when to use it. And finally, last but not least, number 5 is Pharah. Pharah has a rocket launcher. And at first it might be a little bit tricky to get used to her gun, but once you do, hitting targets feels almost automatic because of its wide blast radius. Pharah can also fly. Now, only in short bursts though. But this allows you to get a better look at the battlefield, which is going to help you set up some good angles for your shots. And because of this extra vision that you're getting, you'll also become more familiar with the battlefield, and subsequently you're going to get better at the game overall. And to round it all out, she has a short-range knockback to keep enemies away, and a point-and-click ultimate. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Those are your 5 characters to try out first if you're a beginner. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to be notified of more Overwatch content. And if you're eager to find out about Tempo Storm's Pro Overwatch team, that'll also be announced here, so keep an eye out for that. And finally, if you have any feedback about this content or want to learn about something specific, leave us a note in the comments. My lead writer, Corey, who's the brain behind this stuff, does a pretty good job of keeping up with comments and replying to questions. And if anything at all, if you like the video, you're also welcome to leave him some words of encouragement as well. Apart from that, that's going to be all. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.